Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm Tim, and today I'm continuing my playthrough of Skies Above Britain. We're up to Chapter 3, Patrol number 6. So let's get started. Let's roll for our random event, and hopefully we'll be able to finally roll for some replacements this time. Remember, I've deferred rolling for replacements until the beginning of the patrol, so if we don't get anything that says we don't get replacements for this patrol, then we'll be able to do that. And we got a 12, which is transfer. Wondering if we might be losing some of our veterans. All right, transfer. The effect of this event depends on the number of veteran pilots in your squadron, including those in the hospital, which we do have one in the hospital. You may discharge pilots before applying this random event. So if we have 7 or more, a veteran pilot is transferred to form or bolster another squadron. Select the pilot and remove him from play. Transferred pilots may be replaced after the next patrol. Okay, so we have, let's see, we got Ellsworth over there in the hospital. That's 1. Irwin makes 2. Hooley makes 3. Jap makes 4. White makes 5. And then we got Rathbone, Kershaw, and Upchurch. So we have a total of 8 pilots. So even if we did discharge Ellsworth, we'd still be looking at this option. So it says select the pilot, so I guess we get to choose who it is. So let's see who hasn't been doing that great. Jap, well, he's got 3 bomber kills. Irwin's only got 2. Northcott's only got 1. Where's Northcott? Oh, he's in the bailout box. Oh, so actually we have 9 veterans. I forgot to count him too. Yeah, so actually these bailout guys are... No, they just bailed out, so I don't think they'd be available. So I'm assuming he can't be one of the ones that we... transfer. Well, I don't know. I mean, he's on his way back to the aerodrome, so I guess we could choose him. Well, actually, Mr. Jerry White here is probably our biggest underperformer. Well, Kershaw. He's only got 1 escort kill and 2 bomber kills. I think he was the one that we said last time needed to step it up, not Irwin. So yeah. And I kind of want to keep Mr. White around just because. I'm sure he enjoys... He's been watching these, I know, because he's been giving some thumbs up on them on Board Game Geek, and also writing a comment now and then over there. So I'm sure he enjoys watching his performance here in my campaign. So yeah, I think we're going to send Kershaw. We're going to transfer him out. Because he's in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 patrols. He's only managed 1 escort kill. So goodbye, Mr. Kershaw. So we'll just... erase this. And then if we do get replacements, it won't be for him this time, because he can't be replaced until next patrol. And we'll X all these out. I was kind of keeping these in here as a historical record of the patrols the previous pilots had gone on, but I'm erasing the names and everything, so I'm not sure how beneficial that is. But anyway, that's what I've been doing. Okay, so I think that is all we have to do for that one. So we'll move him over here. We'll put him up here with Gaines since he's not really killed. He just is no longer available. Now we're down 6. So we are going to get to roll for replacements. Hooray. And we're at a pilot deficit of 5 or more. So if we roll a 5 or better, we get 1 replacement. If we roll a 9 or better, we get 2 replacements. So come on, 9, 10, 11, or 12. 5. Well, at least we got 1. All right, so let's see who we want to bring back. Again, it can't be our K pilot. I mean, really, I guess it could be. It just means that if he was our only one that we were short, we couldn't replace him yet. But, I think we're going to go for our T. We haven't had a T for a while. So our new green pilot has a last name that starts with T. So let me give a think here and decide what we're going to name him. Also, while we're up here, these 2 are Upchurch. It's not 2, that's his ace marker. Upchurch is no longer fatigued. Osgood is no longer fatigued. Yeah, so then we'll have to figure out our pilot assignments and figure out who's currently fatigued. But yeah, let me go decide on a name here, and then we'll continue from there. All right, for our T pilot, we're going to go with the name Trumbull. And there is a James Bond connection with this name. If you know what it is, put it in the comments, and we'll see if any of you can figure that out. And no Googling. All right, let's see who we have that is fatigued. Let's see. So this would be if they went on patrols 4 and 5. So Atkinson is fatigued. Irwin is fatigued. Jap is fatigued. Pertwee and Rathbone are both fatigued. And White is fatigued. All right, so I have a feeling we're probably going to be a bit short-handed this patrol. Let's see who we want to send and how many sections we can fill out. We'll promote Hooley to Red Section Leader. We'll put Upchurch as lead in Green Section. We'll give him Trumbull, our new green pilot. I guess I should check. Maybe I already checked at the end of the last patrol, but Doggett, who we got? Doggett and Fitzroy, our other 2 green pilots. Fitzroy has flown 3 patrols. Doggett has done 3 patrols. No, so they'll get they'll lose their green status after this patrol. All right. Yeah, so it looks like if we want to fly 3 sections, we're going to have to fly someone fatigued. I think Mr. White is up to the task. We'll give him a fatigued marker. My newly discovered fatigue markers that have been there the whole time. All right, and we'll give Pertwee to blue section. Oh no, wait, they're fatigued too. Ooh, yikes. We need to fly. You know what? I don't want to fly 3 fatigued pilots, so we're only going to fly 2 sections this time. I think that's the minimum that you can fly. Let me confirm that. But yeah, so we'll move. Boy, somebody's going to have 2 green pilots then. We'll give them both to the ace and Osgood here. Yeah, let me check on that real quick. No, actually, it doesn't look like there's any restriction on how many sections you can fly. The only restriction is that each section that does fly has to be complete. So either 3 or 4 if you're using the Innovator Ace skill. Yeah, so I think we'll just fly 2 sections this time. I mean, there is a rule that if you have so few pilots, let's see where that is. Yeah, squadron withdrawal. Because you have to have at least. Oh no, here it is. I wonder why they. See, they should list this over here where it says. So in pilots and fighters, we're looking in the campaigns section of the situation manual. Over here it says you are not required to fly all 4 sections, but each section must start with at least 3 fires, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, and it doesn't say here that you can fly less. You're not required to fly all 4, but you must fly at least 2, which it should say that, because then over here, under squadron withdrawal, it says your roster must contain at least 3 non-green pilots, or it's withdrawn from the front line. Also, you must fly at least a flight in each patrol. If you fail to satisfy either criteria, for example, you don't have enough pilots to fly 2 sections, your squadron is rotated off the front line and the chapter ends. So, yeah, that should probably mention that over in this other part too. So you do need to fly at least 2. I thought I remembered that from somewhere, but there it is. All right, so we're just going to send a flight, red and green sections, it'll be the Christmas patrol, and that'll be that. So let's get our boards set up. Actually, now that we have our pilots assigned, we can go ahead and roll for Ellsworth again in the hospital. Again, looking for a 9 or higher. Ooh, there we go. Ellsworth is back. Hooray. So we'll be able to use him next patrol. All right, now let's get this set up and get our Chapter 3 scenario card. If you're looking for these scenario cards in your copy, they don't exist. I just printed them from the situation manual so that I didn't have to keep flipping to them in the book. So, all right, so we need, we'll start from the left, I guess. Get these all out and mixed up first, though. Okay, so we got 2 in the leftmost box. then 4, then 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off. Okay. Then we will roll to see where our squadron starts. Seven is going to put us in the middle zone. No fuel expenditure here, only for the coast. I think that's a pretty good place to be. Then we need to roll for starting visibility. Red die will be visibility, blue die for location of the sun. 8 is haze sun, and a 6 means it will be on the port side. So we have haze with sun, and sun at port. Okay. I believe that is everything. Actually, since we're only flying a flight, we can use this marker instead. Okay, let's get started then with the reveal phase of the RAID vector sequence. I don't know, I guess the RAID vector sequence, each part of it doesn't have any subparts, so I suppose you could call these steps instead of phases. Down here you've got the interception sequence, and then you've got phases, and some of the phases then have steps. So I don't know, sometimes I use those terms interchangeably. But we're revealing markers, that's what we're doing. Oh, here we go already. Wow. We're gonna have to try to either take our chances with them coming here or try to get the jump on them over there. I think with only 2 sections, I think we might be better off just waiting, getting high, and hoping that we can catch them before they drop their bombs here. All right, but first we have to draw a flak marker. Oh wait, that does give us a tally-ho opportunity though. That's right. Right. Okay, so our flak, remember flak is always on the hurricane side, is a fuselage with potential to be catastrophic. All right, now the tally-ho opportunity. So we can either, we can't do both, we can either, well, we can make contact, which we can't do yet because the RAID marker's not out yet, or we can change altitude or move to an adjacent position. So let's take a look at the contact tables. And would we be better off making contact from an adjacent zone but being high? No, I don't think so, right? Because the only difference being high makes, I think, is you can only make contact on a tally-ho result if you are already high. It has no bearing on if you're in an adjacent zone, whether you're high or not. It would matter if we were in the same zone. So I think we'd be better off. I think we'll be able to get potentially, well, we won't have to spend a fuel for one thing. And we have better choices of, because we could end up trailing here, which is really bad. So I think we'd be better off being in the same zone. Now the RAID marker's not here, so we don't have to worry about channel bailout, so that's good. So yeah, I think we'll tally ho, spend a fuel. Let's see, we just need red and green, right? and move to the coast zone. Then we do the raid results. So the raid marker shows up and it is hazy, so we don't get to see the escorts yet. Yeah, so that will be the reveal step. Then we go to fuel, so we spend another fuel. And contact, and yes, we will make contact. So now we'll be able to see the escorts and the bombers, but not until after we choose where we're going to approach them from. All right, so we are rolling on the contact tables. We're in the same zone. Neither modifier applies. We won't be able to do this option because we're not high. That's the other advantage of being high and in the same zone. But hopefully we can get something decent here. All right, 5. So we can come in flank low or spend a fuel to be flank high or nose low. Well, look at this. The sun is at port. So if we go port high, we'll be able to get the out of the sun advantage for our bomber interception check, and I guess fighter or escort interception if we went after ones that were. Actually, is that no? That applies to if we're high and in the sun, I think. So yeah, but with only 2 sections, I'm pretty sure we won't be going after the escorts. So yeah, we will spend a fuel to adjust that result to be flank high. And we will choose port. All right, so that, now that we've made contact, we reveal the bomber formation, and since the escorts haven't been revealed yet, we'll see what they are as well. So let's do the escorts first. Now, if it were cloudy, I believe we would find out what the escorts are, but we wouldn't find out what the bombers are until we actually intercept them, if I remember correctly. All right, so this is for the escort stations. 9. So port, ooh, that's not good. Port 109 heavy and starboard 109 heavy. So they're going to be on the same side as us. So we'll probably definitely, how's that for English? We will most likely be using our out of the sun advantage to roll 2 dice, since this is probably going to be a pretty tough roll to make. So 109's heavy there and 110's heavy at starboard. Yeah, I was hoping to get a result that didn't have them in the port, which is not very many of them. I guess a 5 to 6 would have done 4 or a 12. So it was highly likely that they were going to be with us there anyway. So, all right, now we can flip this over and find out our bomber configuration. Red die for bomber type. So that's going to be, oh, I thought it was Junkers, but no, that's only 1 to 2. Dorniers, yuck. And 11 is going to be this formation here, which I think is actually the best for isolation, because all we got to do is isolate these 3, and we've got 9 victory points. So I think that was probably the best. Yeah, none of the others could be completely isolated in 3 with only 3 tiles. So, all right, let me get that set up, and we'll be right back. All right, there we are. So we've completed, or we made contact, so we jump out of the RAID vector sequence and start the interception sequence with the orders phase. So let's have a look at what we're facing, but like I said, with only 2 sections, I think splitting up to try to suppress the escorts doesn't really make any sense, especially since we're out of the sun. We can roll 2 dice. So we're coming in flank high, and we have 109s on the same side, and we have 110s on the other side. So we're looking at 8 and 3, so it's going to be the 8 that we have to beat. With the out of the sun advantage, we can roll 2 dice. So yeah, I think we just ignore them. Give our entire flight a bomber's order. And see what we can do. All right, so then we go to the intercept phase, and we will roll for our interception check. Again, we need an 8 or higher. We're rolling 2 dice because we're out of the sun. We can spend a fuel to re-roll if necessary. Oh yeah, look at that, 14. All right, so we have successfully intercepted the bombers. So this comes off. And we can move all of our fighters to the bomber formation area. That sends us into the bomber cycle then, from a successful bomber interception. So we will start with the approach step. So we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna want to try to isolate these 3 tiles. So let's start by focusing on this one, and then maybe a little bit over here as well, in case we get it early. So let's see, we want to send our green pilots in first, so that the leader can help them out if needed. So we're going to send these 3 after that one. And then, let's see, red 3 is a green pilot, so we want them to go like that. And I think maybe we'll just do 3 and 3. And we definitely want to get this one. So maybe we go 4 over here. Although, I mean, all of these count until that one's isolated. So actually, maybe, yeah, let's do it this way. We'll send, because we want to keep all of green section's fighters together so that green leader can have them stay close if necessary. I think we do it this way. That way all 6 of them are counting while we're trying to do this one, and then if that gets isolated, we've still got 4 over here on this one. Yeah, let's try it that way. Okay, so let's get our bomber deck. And we will start with red 3. So we're up top, coming in from starboard port. Look at that. We are going to have to tell them to stay close. So a green pilot would take a hit, but because red leader is attacking the same bomber from the same approach angle, he can use his stay close privilege to cancel that result. Okay, and then we would need 10 to isolate, which we don't have. So red 3 is done. Then red leader. We're getting closer, 9. So we get damage result, low ammo. He's used his privilege, so he'll have to take that. And he gets return fire. And then we're only going to have 7 once we apply the damage result. So let's do that first. And it's a fuselage hit. And then we have to take a return fire. Ooh, which is lost contact. Interesting. All right, so he's low ammo and lost contact. Guess that's better than going down, but I would have liked to have kept him in the second round. Plus, he's not counting now against the isolation disruption. All right, so we'll move over to green 3. Another, I said I was going to do this last time, so let me go ahead and do it. I'm going to move their green markers onto their fighter so that I remember that they are green pilots. Let's see, Timmons is in green 3. And Fitzroy is in green 2. All right. And if any of them were fatigued, I'm also doing that. It just helps as a memory mnemonic to know that there's a green pilot or a fatigued pilot in that fighter. All right, so green 2, or green 3, sorry. Who is green? All right, ooh, 11. Yikes, we're getting all the big numbers. But he does score a damage, low ammo, and return fire. So pretty much the same result. So we'll give him his low ammo. The damage. Is a fuselage. And return fire. It is a hit. Wing 6. Hopefully trivial. All right. Green 2, who is also green. Oh, he doesn't even get the damage. He just gets the return fire and the low ammo. 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Not quite there. So low ammo and return fire. This isn't going well. Oh, and he's lost contact. Okay. Green leader. Show him how it's done. He's not green, so damage, low ammo, and we don't have 10 or more. Hopefully getting all these big numbers out of the way now, we'll be able to get some isolations here in the second round. All right, so he goes low ammo. He could use his privilege to cancel that. Not yet. Low ammo is fine. No ammo is a different matter. And then he gets a damage on the bomber. fuselage. 2 on the fuselage now. Okay, and then red 2. Ooh, 7. Might be close there. Oh, he doesn't get a damage though, just low ammo. We only have 6, unfortunately. If one of those guys hadn't gone lost contact, we would have had it. Alrighty. Yeah, that's it. So everyone disengages. Hit check for green 3. Needs to roll a 6 or better. Oh yeah, trivial. Okay, so then we go back to the interception sequence, and now we go, no one else to resolve orders for, oh shoot, I forgot to do this flak. So at the time, there wouldn't have been any markers on anything, so all of them would have been eligible for it. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then the blue die will be for which bomber. 12 is too big. That one was a 10. 8 is going to be this guy back here. Ooh. Ooh. So actually we did get a disruption there. Nice. 10 would be the bomber at starboard. So that goes on there. And then we got to roll to see if it's catastrophic. But either way, there'll be a marker there. It's not. So yeah, we actually did get the 7 from this because we had 4 fighters and wait a minute. We had 7 anyway, didn't we? Was that the last card? Am I losing my mind here? Let's see. This was the first one over here, which didn't do anything. And then we had this that put a damage on it but didn't isolate. And there was just, I only had 2 fighters over on that one, right? And then this one put the damage there but didn't isolate. This one didn't put a damage and didn't isolate. And then this one put a damage on and didn't isolate. Or was this after? Did I have these back in the wrong order? This one was on top, so I thought this was the last one I did. Let me review and come back. Yeah, this was right. I just can't count. Because we did have 7, and actually should have been 8. Because we had our 4 fighters. I think I was only counting this as 1 because they were stacked together like that. But there's actually 2 there. So we had 7, and then the flak that should have been on there actually made it 8. So this actually was a successful isolation. So it just isolates this one tile, unfortunately, but it sets this one up now to isolate 5 tiles if we can get that isolated. Yeah, so let me mark that down for chapter 3. Control 6, we have 1 keta isolated so far. All right, I think we're back on track now. So as I was saying, we are in the entropy phase now, so we come back to the bomber formation area, And we're just going to have everyone pile on. Let's see who we got here. Red leader is lost, so no one's going to be available to help Red 3 out if he gets into trouble. But we can still help out Green 3. So we'll have Green leader go after him. And it's not that they have to go after them to use that privilege. It's just, if he had went first and say got a low ammo result, then I'd be in a quandary of, well, should I use the privilege? Should I save it in case my green pilot gets one of those green results? So this way, this becomes the first decision point, and then this is the second decision point. But you could do them the other way around and still make use of it. It's just what order you want those decisions to be presented to you in. All right. Yep, we're just going to do that. Let's see if we can get 5 victory points here. All right, so our first one, we're still on the top row here. Damage result and 8. Ooh, we're going to be 1 short. And low ammo. So he's now out of ammo. And we get another damage. I'm really hoping that it doesn't destroy it because I want to get this marker count up. Another fuselage. A lot of fuselage hits. Okay, so that's all for that card. He is done. Next up, we have green leader. Ooh. I think we're short again. He goes low ammo. Could use his privilege, but in this case, I think I'm not planning on sticking around for another bomber round, so I think we'll just save it. So he just takes return fire. He may need it if he ends up in a fate box. Oh, no, green pilot takes a hit, and he's not green. Wow, we've been getting pretty lucky with those return fire markers. Yeah, that's it. Oh, except he does go low ammo, so he's out. And on to red 3. Come on. Who is this? Dog it. Let's make it happen. Oh man, another 9, and his guns are jammed. It's gonna be really sad. Should have just poured everything onto this one in the first round, I think, to try to get these 3 points at least. I got greedy though. I saw the possibility of getting 9. All right, so that's it for him. And then last chance here with red 2. Ooh, 7, I think. Yes, that's going to be enough. Sweet. All right, red 2 is not green. I was looking up there, but I forgot. They're down here now. Not green, so don't have to worry about that. Scores of damage. Actually, before I do that damage result, I'm going to resolve this. Because if this ends up destroying the bomber, which if it's a cockpit hit, it could, that's going to go down to only being 1 marker, and then we'd only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that would be very sad. So we're going to resolve this first. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it does isolate, which isolates all 5 of these. And that's 5 more victory points. So a total of 6 isolated Ketan. And he's going to go low ammo, and then we get a damage result. And it's a wing, so we were safe anyway. But yeah, that's one thing you want to consider when deciding what order to do these in. If you resolve a damage first, and it ends up either dropping the bomber out of, yeah, that's the other thing, an engine could have, made it fall out of formation. Then you're left with just 1 marker instead of the 2 that were there before. And that could make a difference for either disruption or distress results. So keep that in mind. All right, so that is it for the burst step. We disengage. There are no hit checks to perform. So we resume back to the entropy phase. And now we have escort reaction. And we're looking for nothing in port or starboard. Probably too much to wish for. Yep, we got port and starboard and an ambush. Haven't seen one of those for a while, but oh boy. So we're going to get 3 dogfights here. All right, so nothing to do for the cloud escape because it's not cloudy. Help arrives, 1 from port, 1 from starboard. The port one is going to be 109s, the starboard is 110s, and they are both heavy. So let me draw a couple of Luftwaffe Advantage cards. I'll put some markers on them so we know this one's for 109s, this one's going to be 110s. And let's see who they're going to go after. So we'll do a divide by 3 roll here. 11's going to be this one. So he gets to deal with that. And then divide by 4 roll for this. 6 is going to be the middle one. All right, so let's resolve a couple dogfights here. Both guys are out of ammo. So this first one, again, is going to be 109s. Oh, too bad. Was this? No, that was red too. He's not a veteran anyway. Neither one of these are veterans, are they? So that wouldn't have mattered. So we're tailed by a Rota. We will attempt to evade. Turn would have been, well, I don't think that was the first one though. Well, either way, turn would have been the better choice. So yeah, hit or hit. I guess we'll take a hit. Fuselage 7. But we do get to reduce them because we did an evade and we're still being tailed. All right, let's see what happens with that. 5, he's going to the fuselage fate box. That's green pilot of green 3 is our new guy, Tremble. Have you figured out the connection yet? What did I say that was? Fuselage. Okay. Yeah, I like having that marker on them because then when they go over to the fate box too, we know right away that, hey, this is a green pilot. So that's I would highly encourage you to adopt that convention. All right, so that one's over and done with. Now we've got red 2 facing some 110s. Section only. Nope, not a section. So that doesn't apply. Ooh, we're tailed by a swarm of 110s. All right, again, we will attempt to evade. And this one doesn't work out so well either. So hit or hit and reduce. Well, we'll take hit and reduce. Oh wait, I just realized I'm looking at the wrong column. These are 110s, dummy. Yeah, so it's 2 hits or 2 hits. Turn would have definitely been the right choice here. Pretty sure this was the top card. So yeah, we get 2 hits. Oh boy. And no reduce. Well, they will reduce because of the evade. So then we got to pass 2 hit checks. A fuselage 7. And a fuselage 6. Wow, they're really going after that fuselage. All right, well, they're both fuselages, so we'll say we can roll for them at the same time. I guess we could either way. The red die will be for the fuselage 6, and the blue die will be for the fuselage 7. And they both failed. So off to the fuselage box with red 2. Osgood. Okay, so that concludes that. Then we still have an ambush to resolve. And it's an ambush of 109s. So which one of you are going to get targeted by that? Even, odd. Odd. All right, they're not 110s, so we're tailed by a swarm. I think I'm just going to stick with the evade tactic. It's eventually got to pay off, right? Isn't that what gamblers always say? Well, either way, the turn would have been better. So hit or hit. Elevator 7. And they do reduce because we evaded and they're still tailing us. And 7 or better. No. Off to the elevator fate box. It's not too bad to land with a busted elevator. Okay, so I think that finally wraps the, I guess we skipped a step. Low would have moved to starboard, but if it was empty, but starboard's not empty, and there's no one in low, so that doesn't apply. We did the ambush, so that's it for our escort reaction. Now we go to the chase phase, or step, sorry, the chase step of the entropy phase of the interception sequence. These guys are both just going to RTB. patrol complete. No. We have one fighter still out here. So they spend a fuel. All that's left is red. And we check for, there's no escort recovery because we didn't suppress anyone. Escort exit. So, and I messed this up before. I was like, oh, there's no number here. We don't have to roll. The numbers are down here. So, only for 109s though. So, we have to roll to see if this one gets reduced. We need an 11 or a 12 for that to happen. Yeah. Get over here. And it does not. Okay. Did I? I gotta check. I had a couple people with jammed guns, and I think I might have forgotten to roll to see if their hits actually went through. So we might need to make some amendments there. I'll review that here in a little bit. I'm gonna have to take a break here anyway. Just trying to get through this interception sequence. There's no channel patrol in this spot. Nothing to do for reform, so raid vector. So this comes over here. We'll reveal these two. And there we go, they dropped their bombs. So this moves up to the turn space. These all come off. And then an important step that I think I may have forgotten on occasion is now we have to roll to see what the new sun position is. So it's currently on the flank. So if we roll even, it goes to the nose. If we roll odd, it goes to the opposite flank. It's odd, so it goes to the opposite flank. It's now at starboard. They did a 180. And yeah, so that concludes raid vector. Then we go back to swirl again. No one to give orders to. No intercept phase. Entropy phase, we go back to the bomber formation area. These guys are going to RTB this guy. Only one guy in there. And that will do it. So before I resolve the fate boxes, I want to go back and make sure I didn't miss checking for somebody's jammed guns. So let me go do that. And when we come back, we'll resolve our three fellas in the fate boxes. Okay, we're good. Yeah, we had two fighters that had jammed guns, but one of them ended up going lost contact, so he didn't even participate in the second round of the bomber cycle, and the other one just got his jammed guns during that second round through the bomber cycle. So, all good. So let's see what happens to these fellows. Oops. Get rid of that fuel marker there. And actually these guys can go back as well. Make sure that green marker gets back on the appropriate pilot though. All right. So we'll start with red 2. He's looking to need an 8 or higher. Again, the red die will be the initial result. And he got a 5, so he crashes, but then an 8 is a successful bailout. Speaking of bailout, we can move these guys back over now, since they sat out their round that they had to sit out for their patrol. All right, so red 2 is Osgood. Osgood bails out. And then we have Green 3, who is green. So again, looking for an 8 or higher. Got it. Nice. Just barely. And that was Trumbull. Put his green marker back under him. And red 3 was Doggett. Put his green marker back. What happened to, I thought we had, Fitzroy. What happened to his green marker? I think it might have gotten lost. Oh yeah, I put it over here with all these other markers that came off of stuff. So Fitzroy should also be green, although he's actually not green now. We'll get to that in a minute. All right, and then lastly we have green leader with an elevator hit. Also needing an 8 or higher. But if he does crash, it's a fairly easy bailout attempt. So 5, he does in fact crash, but a 9 is a successful bailout. So green leader was Upchurch. That was our ace. He had to bail out. All right, but no casualties, so I'm happy for that. Okay, so yeah, let's look at our promotions now. So both Doggett. Wait, no, this was his... Oh, I never wrote down who flew on this patrol, did I? Whoops. Guess I should do that. So Doggett flew, and that was his 4th patrol, so he's no longer green. Hooley went. Who was in red 2? That must have been Osgood. Yeah. Osgood went. And Upchurch. Trumbull. And Fitzroy. And then, yeah, that was Fitzroy's 4th patrol as well. So he is no longer green. So we just have one green pilot now, Trumbull. We'll remove their green counters. All right, and then for our patrol summary in our squadron log, we didn't have any escort or bomber kills, but we did isolate 6 Ketan before they dropped their bombs. So that's 6 victory points. We had 2 pilots bail out again, but none wounded, none killed. All right, so with 2 patrols to go, we're at, I think we were at 18 before, right? No. 16, 18. We were at 21, so now we're at 27. And remember, 41 is the next level for outcomes. So we're still in the failure outcome with 27, but if we can get, what would that be? 41 minus 27 is 14. So we need to average 7 points in these last 2 patrols to make it into the success region. But again, I'm somewhat okay with failure because we've managed to avoid disaster, and no matter what, we'll get to continue on to chapter 4, which was what I was hoping for from the beginning. All right, so that, my friends, is going to wrap things up for this episode of Skies Above Britain. Get the box in the shot there. And as always, if you like it, please give me a like, share with your friends, subscribe if you want to get notified of future content. And I have a birthday coming up in a couple days, and I'm hoping maybe I'll get some new games, so maybe we'll have some new stuff to show you here soon. All right, but that's going to do it for this episode. Thanks everyone for watching, and see you in the next episode.